Hello everybody, it is JD here and welcome to a Collect to Glory episode without the Collect to Glory account. So we are of course still banned on the main account. We are free on July the 22nd, still on holiday at the moment. However, the collector level end game reward has been announced. All of the final levels, so we know everything that the collector level has to offer. And we need to talk about it, and I need to talk about it because we dedicated basically the whole year to the collector level, and to say it's underwhelming is putting it very, very, very lightly. So we're not on the collector glory account, but we are going to be talking everything about the collector level. And I can remember off the top of my head what we've got on that other account, and there's a lot of layers as to why this is so bad, and the fact that it is not even able to be completed today. It's July the 1st as I'm recording this. I think you guys are seeing it tomorrow. But it's still, you can't even complete it yet, and we're in July. Like, 2K are going to want people to complete this with a week left of the game and have a week to enjoy the card, and then 2K24 is going to come out. I don't understand what the thinking is behind it, but I've got a lot of thoughts I need to get off my chest. So, let me know down below your thoughts about the collect level. Did you do it at all this year? Have you been up to date on it? Are you kind of not really caring about it? Is it not something you really look at? Or is it something you're really passionate about and you're not feeling too happy about the rewards? Or maybe you are happy about the rewards. I don't know. Let me know down below. But let's go ahead. Oh boy, let's go ahead and jump into it for today. If you guys are looking to get any of your grinds done in Season 8, whether that's online or offline, there's one guy you need to check out, and that is Rose NBA on Twitter. He's one of the most trusted guys in the community for getting your grinds done. So make sure you check him out. Link is in the description. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for the daily videos and check out twitch.tv/JDCrossover for the daily streams. So what I want to do is go through this. So obviously we are on the Collect Glory account, we hit 3,100 cards. So that's what I've got to on the main account. But we now know everything that it has to offer. So we're going to go through the entirety of the Collect level and just see if anything, literally anything, was worth it this year. Because I'm struggling to think of anything that was actually worth its time. And Amethyst John Stockton, even way back at the start of the game cycle, nobody used. The Diamond Joachim Noah, to be fair, I did use him for a little bit. When you could use inside centres, I did use him for a little bit. His defence was good. But no different to cards that you could just buy off the auction house, of course. In terms of the MT and the tokens, yes, there is some, but it is minimal at best. Some trophy case pieces. How sad. One Hoff badge there. Doesn't matter about that. Pino Johnson. Very, very, very vaguely remember using him. Didn't use him for all that long. One Hoff badge again. The Pink Diamond Steve Smith. Again, I was right there. And again, I don't remember using this card because I think there was already better in the game when you could get your hands on that Steve Smith. I think some people did like him. Ralph was not the one. Yes, he was tall, but that was about it. I don't think he touched the court for me. Some more trophy case stuff. You know, shoe boosts out here that are worthless. Galaxy Opal Glenn Robinson. I don't think this guy got a game for anybody. I really don't. Galaxy Opal Glenn Robinson was a pretty poor one. And we should have known at this point, at 1250 cards, we should have realised it's time to bail. Because that's the effort that 2K are putting into it this year. Some more tokens. 3 Hoff badges. 50,000 MT, don't care. Now, this is good. So this is the first good. It takes 1,550 cards to get something good, but it is the Galaxy Opal Coach, Don Nelson. Now, at the moment, if you want a Galaxy Opal Coach, it's going to cost you. Actually, I think it might not, actually, because of the packs. Right? The packs and everything on this market is just down. So, a +8 Pace and Spades Coach, you can now buy 30,000 MT. So, obviously, right now, just buy Billy Cunningham, and you don't have to get 1,500 cards. But back when you could actually get him, he was the first Opal coach in this game. So that is what the collect level should be. And we'll get onto that a bit later on, but that's what it should be. This should be what everybody aims to get. The collect level should be the trailblazer for this game mode. It should have the first of the top tier gems. It should have the best rewards. That's how this should be because it takes so much money and time to get these cards. But Don Nelson, for his time, was fantastic. That was really good. I was really happy about that. And I think throughout the year, most of the time, if somebody said, shall I do the collector level, my advice has been, get Don Nelson and then get your hell out of there. And now we know what we got after that. I think that was the right decision. So you get more shoe boots, which are worthless, tokens, which are worthless, 4 badges. Dark Matter Moses Malone, just nothing. Just nothing. No excitement. Dark Matter George Gervin, nothing. No excitement. Again, the card arts themselves mirror how much effort they put in. I mean, those card arts are some of the drabbest things you will see in life. Like, well, how much grey do you want? Yes. What are you doing? Put some colour on it. So they're really disappointing. You don't want to use the card because they just look sad. And then, you know, Moses Malone and George Gervin, never played against any of those guys throughout this year. The Dave Cowens, again, 2200 cards, never played against him. And don't think I ever used him either. And then you've got to wait until 2600 cards to get your next player, which is Reggie Theus. Along the way, sure, you get some MTs, some more tokens, some Hoff badges. Again, Reggie Theus, for the cards that were already out at the time you could get him, it's just redundant. You get a Dark Matter coach, you get Casey Jones, and I believe he was the first Dark Matter coach at the time. But of course, then, you know, give it a week or two, and then there's Dark Matter coach on the auction house that you can just buy and then sell back if you don't want them anymore. So the Dark Matter coach is there, but he's not even better than Don Nelson, so it doesn't even matter. You know, +8 pace and space is better than +10 balance. That's just the way it be. Kevin McHale, again, bad release on him. His release was not it. And then you get the first Invincible card, and it's Invincible Dominique Wilkins. And again, just nothing special. Just nothing special. And this is when you get to... This is silly season, by the way. 3,000 cards is silly. And it's 3,000 players, of course. One of the big changes this year to every other year is you needed specifically players. It wasn't a combination of players, jerseys, arenas, logos, coaches, all of that stuff. No, just players, and that is a stupid amount of players. Tokens, every Hall of Fame badge in the game at 3,100 cards. Now, it just doesn't matter because you can get this now, and we got it, 2 weeks ago, but they're already end games in the game. And they've obviously got 64 Hoff badges. So it's released so late in the game's life cycle that it's already redundant because you can't make any MT off of it. You're getting these end game cards that have already got every Hoff badge, so it doesn't matter for that. Invincible's got 55, so sure, you could add 9 Hoff badges to an Invincible card, but it's not really going to make too much of a difference. 3-1 is that. 3-150 is some more MT. 3,200 is again another pack of every Hoff badge. How lazy, 2K. You couldn't make another player to put there? How lazy. And then it gets worse. Here it is, guys. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The final reward for the collector level for 2K23. What we have spent 10 months working towards. Thousands of hours, completing every game mode to get every card to make sure we're as high as can be. Playing Play Now, completing the MJ challenges for a free agent MJ to think that one card might get us an advantage to be at the end first. Well, first place is an endgame Rashard Lewis, and that is it. And just to really rattle home how bad this is, he is a shooting guard small forward. He is 6'10". He is an endgame card. All of the endgame cards are genuinely identical, and I do mean identical. Exactly the same jump shots, exactly the same animations, exactly the same dunk packages. These are the same players in different skins. Well, there's a skin here that's also shooting guard small forward, who's also 6'10", who costs 200,000 MT. So, and also you can get him for free by completing the spotlights. So, if you don't want to get the end reward of the collector level, you can just go complete the spotlights for free and you get, for all intents and purposes, the same card with a different name. And then, of course, the group reward is, again, every Hoff badge in the game. So you get 3 batches of every Hoff badge in the game. I just do not understand. So they're the rewards, and you get 1 Invincible and 1 Endgame, and that's it. And 3 of every Hoff badge, which are just redundant at this point in the game. So let's break it down. Let's break it down. The collector level this year has been an absolute afterthought for 2K. I don't know if you guys remember, but at the start of the year, and up until a couple of months ago, The end reward was actually at 3,400 cards. They culled it. They realised so late into the game's life cycle, like 8 months in, like, oh yeah, they're not going to be able to complete it. It said 3,400 cards. It used to come down to here saying collect 3,400 cards. They then chopped 150 cards off, but we still aren't able to complete it, and it's early July, which is insane. Endgame cards, they're already out in the game. When Dominique came out, already were Invincibles in the game. Collectible used to be the place, and it should be the place, in my opinion, where you get the first ones. So last year, Invincible Dirk on the collector level, he was actually the first Invincible. And when he got the Evo to an endgame card, I think he was a third endgame. So he was still, that was still pretty hype last year, getting that Dirk. And the main thing from that was, you also got the 64 Hoff badges, but you got to complete it in April. Or it was April or May. I think it was April. It might have been May, but it was in and around that time, April, May. So you got those 64 Hoff badges, and that's before there's en masse Invincibles everywhere. That's before we've got 28 Invincibles and 6 endgames already in the game. So you could turn those Hoff badges into some money. You obviously can't do that at this point in time. And again, last year, you could complete the collector level, get that Dirk, and then cash in your check. And then you could sell everything, cash it in, and be a millionaire for the rest of the game's life cycle. However, because 2K have left it so late, everything that people have bought all year that had value, it's now gone. All value has been decimated. Every dark matter that was 300k is now a buyout. There's no dark matters now, as far as I'm aware, that are buyouts. Even some Invincibles, most Invincibles are buyouts now. So it's not going to be a case of you can hit the end of collect level and then sell everything off and then just enjoy being a millionaire. No, you're going to sell everything off and enjoy having a couple of peanuts, because that's what you're going to get for selling your account now, because everything is worthless. And I do think that is maybe done intentionally by 2K. Maybe they have just completely forgotten about it this year, but I think that might be intentional. I think they wanted to... And I also think the people that go for the collect level are some of the biggest spenders in this game. I mean, we are talking 5 figures. We are talking like 10 Gs plus. These guys put in an obscene amount of money and an obscene amount of time. And I think 2K realised the longer that we keep these guys going, the more money they're going to give us. Why would we end the collector level and then let them cash in all their MT when we could keep it going and they keep pumping in VC every single week? So the cynic in me tells me that's possible. The realist in me tells me that 2K just forgot about the collector level for the entire year. And they just do not care about this aspect of the game, which is so sad because we've got a whole series dedicated to it. We did it last year with the first nobody spent player to the end game Dirk, and it was great fun, and I love collecting cards, completed collections, locking them in. I love that stuff, always have done. So for me, this is one of the major motivating factors for playing in 2K. It is to collect cards. And the fact that they've once again, because 2K21 was horrific, 2K21's collector level was genuinely collect 2,000 cards for a reward, I think it was Lillard, and then collect 4,000 cards for Invincible Tatum. Nothing in between. That was shocking. Last year was half decent, but previous to that, 2K20's collector level was awesome. It was a Galaxy Opal AD and a Galaxy Opal Dwayne Wade, but you could get them in April, and they were absolutely top tier cards at their time. This is just so far wide of the mark, and to give you guys an idea of how much it costed, because obviously now prices are so low, but we were at 3,100 cards on the Collector Glory account. We hit 3,100 cards. Thankfully, we did sell back a few of our most expensive cards, but we hit 3,100 cards. To get to 3,100 cards over the course of the year, and with the MT that we purchased, it cost us around 25 million MT. Yeah, you heard that right. You did. Yeah. Let me say it again. 25 million MT, because I found 20 mil, and throughout the year I probably pumped at least about 8 mil into it, but I had a couple of mil left over. So a genuinely obscene amount of money, but you spend it because you want to be the first one there, because you just expect it to be something like, oh my god, exciting. And now let's talk about what I would do. So, you know, people have said, like, well, what would you do differently? What would you make it to make it exciting? Well, a few things. One, I would not have this separate. And I know a couple of the yes men at the start of the year were like, oh, it's so cool how it's separate. No, it's not. Put it back to one. The collect level should be for your collection. It shouldn't just be for players. It should be a culmination of everything. You should get shoes along the way in the collect level. You should get this stuff as well. So put it all back into one. That's the first thing. Second thing, I don't care how many cards it is, but it needs to end in and around April, May time. Because what is the point in this reward being available? Again, it's not available right now. The middle of July, and then you get, what, 3 weeks to play with it, and then the game's over. You can't have people enjoying something that they've grinded for like 10 months, for 3 weeks. No. So it needs to end sooner. And that also gives people a chance to get it. Because think about it. The first person in the world isn't going to get it for a while. And he has every single card, like every game mode card, all the free agents from Play Now, like genuinely everything. So is this a collection that's meant for 2 people? Genuinely, like, how many people do they expect to complete this? Why not end it sooner, and then more people can, as the months go on, as we get nearer towards the end of the game's life cycle, then more people can complete it, which is better. So put everything back together, have it end in and around April, May. I don't care how many cards it is, have it end around that time. And as for the rewards, they should be the first. So this should have been the first Invincible card. You should also get more than one, and this should have been the first endgame card. What would have been okay for this would have been 5 endgame cards. Or 5 Invincibles, one of the two, or maybe 5 Invincibles and 1 endgame or something like that. But you should have at least got 1 card per position. Maybe one of them being like dumb meta, like an endgame tackle or something, endgame minute. And it's not stupid to say that because, again, think about the amount of time and effort and money it's taken for these guys to get to this position. Thankfully for me, I didn't spend that much money to get to 3100. Just purchased that cool little 20 million MT and then played the game a hell of a lot, like a hell of a lot. And the hope was the most exciting thing, thinking, what are they going to do? But never in my wildest dreams would I thought it would have been a Dark Matter, Rashard, Lewis. If it's an endgame point guard LeBron James, that's at least something. That's at least an absolute marquee name, top tier name, a desirable card that people are going to want. That's at least something. That's one thing. But still, I don't think 1 card is enough at this point for the amount of money it's taken to get to this point. And again, all that money spent is now gone. You cannot get it back. So if for all these guys that had all these cards, they have just lost all of their value because we're so late in the game's life cycle. We've now got these packs which have got every previously released card in it. And again, when the collect level ends in April, May, that doesn't happen. So there's so many layers as to why this has screwed over collectors so badly. And I think it will scar some people as well. I mean, damn, it's got me feeling like if they do collect level next year and it says a mystery reward at the end, how am I going to trust that? Why would I trust that? They absolutely dropped the ball with the limited mystery reward of Iggy. The spotlights, again, I would say it is disappointing. Realistically, it's a 6'10 centre, or it's 2 cards that you can just buy off the auction house. To me, that's not super duper exciting. Is the KD incredible? Yes, of course he is. But if you wanted KD, you'd have gone and bought him because he was down at 150k on Friday, and he still is around that 200k mark. So I think they missed the mark on that. And then the mystery reward here is nothing short of disrespectful to the people that have put in. Again, on my account, I probably put about 25 million. Again, that's one thing, but it's the people who have spent real dollars. And again, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars because that it's a hobby. They love the collecting side of things, but they want to get a reward at the end of the tunnel. And to get a card that is a literal clone of a card that you can just buy, I just do not understand the thought process behind that, and it does make me very sad. Of course, we will get the account back on July 22nd, and we will complete the collector level, because, we're on 3,100 cards, so we'll get the 95k, we'll get every Hoff badge, we'll get Rashard Lewis, and we'll get every Hoff badge again, but it just doesn't feel right. I mean, the one thing I will say, that account has got 5.6 million MT on it. Now, when we come back to the game, that 5.6 million is going to be able to buy like literally everything in this game. So by the time that comes around, Invincibles will be genuinely like 20k. Like they will be so cheap because they're already down when there wasn't even Invincible buyouts a week ago. About a week ago. There wasn't even Invincible buyouts a week ago. You can now get Invincible Steph for 50k. Now obviously that's because he's got his endgame card. But there's loads of other Invincibles that you can get for around that 70, 80k mark. And they will continue to crash. So when we do get the account back, we're going to have 5.6 mil. We're going to be able to buy everything. So we might do like try to collect all of the Invincible cards. That could be cool. That could be fun. But yeah, the actual collector level itself, so disappointing. 2K once again showing how out of touch they are and just flat out inept. This got greenlit. Somebody greenlit the final reward for an entire year's worth of collecting. 3,250 players. Not items, players. And they came up with the name Rashard Lewis. How? And then made him an endgame, which is a clone of a card that already exists. Again, if it's a tack or if it's a minute or an oversized point guard, at least it's something, at least they're a little bit different. He is literally already in the game in the form of KD, and that is really, really sad to see. So yeah, loads of people feeling pretty aggrieved by it, and I think rightly so. So hopefully next year gets better, but I mean, don't we say that every year with 2K? And look where it gets us. We're in 2023, and this is the type of content that they are putting out. So that is going to do it from me today. We will complete the Collector Glory when we get that account back, but it's not exactly a time for excitement or celebration when we do complete it. I don't understand why they've done that, but that is 2K doing it, 2K type things, and that is proof that they do not listen. As much as people want to think that they do listen, they don't. They don't. They don't really care. As long as these packs here in the game, Invincible Ultra Pack and the in-game Ultra Pack that you can buy with $50 every week, and people are, that is all that matters. Anything else that is a reward does not matter as long as there's Invincible Ultra Packs for $50 and the in-game Ultra Packs for $60 as well. As long as they're there, 2K could not care less, which is really sad, but it's sadly the way that this company runs. That is going to do it from me today, everybody. I'm very, very disappointed. But again, like I've said, it's bad, but here's how you make it better. Because it was good, but last year, Collector Level was good. People loved it. It finished early. A lot more people could get to it. How many people are going to get this shard? I just do not know. And yeah, I don't understand. Let me know down below, guys. What do you think about the Collector Level this year? If you're close to finishing it, are you going to not get it out of protest? Let me know any and all thoughts in the comment section down below. But that's going to do it for me today, everybody. Hope you have enjoyed. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you next time, and peace.